ideas and concepts, but we firmly believe that any new program expenditure, as we indicated, we're in favor of in the area maybe of education reform, cannot be in addition to, but must be in lieu of. That requires spending cuts. Our hands are tied somewhat based on the CBAC agreement, but if you look no further than our last year's budget, we had a litany of $1.5 billion worth of cuts, not all of which could be applicable this year, but it is certainly a starting point for us to look at if and when we get to the point of having to reprioritize the budget.
Can you summarize your 40-minute presentation here simply by saying that
36.
Were we keeping it?
No, you've got 2.5 minutes coming to you if you want to match the governor.
Right. With no applause. With no applause. That the governor thinks things are getting better, and you hope things are getting better, but we shouldn't plan on it.
Well, every indicator outside of us, forget about what we say, says we're in trouble. And at very least, we have to prepare for it. Because if we don't, as I told you in 2008, we're going to come in here in January 2013 and face billions of dollars in deficits. And let me tell you, Mark, what I'm hearing out there from a lot of people is we were told to swallow the tough medicine of tax increases. And now you're telling us, even with historic tax increases, we're right back where we started from talking deficits. Something's wrong.
But there is a possibility that after April 15th, that all of these arguments are not going to hold water anymore, because if income tax receipts do increase as he seems to think they're going to, that will be in.
And I hope he's right. But if he's wrong, we can't wait until April 15th.
And the difference is, Mark, do you assume a 5% growth and hope things are going to get better, or do you look at the facts on the ground and determine what your growth and economic activity is going to be by facts? For example, we learned in 2011 that as long as they've been keeping records of housing sales, it was the worst year in record in the history of the state of Connecticut. That doesn't speak to a 5.7% economic growth. Last night I was at dinner, I talked to a business owner who has a trash business. He said the number of pulls he's had has decreased considerably. Mm-hmm. That tells him that economic activity is down. Talk to retail people. They will tell you that their economic activity is down. Go through every sector of our economy. Talk to business leaders. Financial services industry. Bonuses are down. RBS announced worldwide layoffs over 6 weeks ago. Talk to business leaders in every sector, and they will not look at you and say, we expect that big rebound. So the facts on the ground don't speak to a big rebound. Fred Carstensen is saying 2.25% revenue growth. The governor's assuming 5.7. It's not a reasonable assumption.